know, for basically all homes, buildings, that kind of thing. Try and get rid of a lot of blightful areas, that kind of thing. If you guys want to do that, I just really recommend to adopt it into Odon's Ordinance 150.02, which covers unsafe structures, that kind of thing, as well as the nuisance in 90.1. Also, Odon Ordinance 9102. I guess passed back in 94, covers good wares of personal property on sidewalks and street, referring to businesses here in Maine. I don't know what this place was like in 94, I wasn't here. I talked to the Dollar General, had a lot of complaints about the cardboard, where they stack cardboard and stuff like that when they're going to dispose of it. Current ordinance states that they must have a 4-foot ingress and egress. Some places aren't possible with that because of permanent structures such as the benches, flower pots, that kind of thing. Dollar Store has been wonderful trying to work with us, so we're not really having an issue to that point. But some of the verbiage in it I would change. It says, let me find it. The language currently, right now it says only where the 4-foot. It should be changed to only where 4-foot egress and egress is possible, then placement may occur. I would definitely change that. The other thing is right now the ordinance says any sidewalk, but some of the residential sidewalks and the sidewalks here on uptown are not the same width, distance, or anything. So I would recommend changing that to read business only sidewalk, not any sidewalk. That way there's no confusion, because I get a lot of flack going back, well, why can't I put something on my sidewalk, but they can do it uptown, that kind of thing, just trying to eliminate that as well. Also, a couple of ordinances that I'd like to adopt into ours, covering noises. Had a lot of complaints, or Marshall and I have had a lot of complaints on loud trucks, that kind of thing, with mufflers. Found two really great ones under, we have one ordinance covered under 70.01 under Odon, but under Ordinances, Title 9, 9.06, number 7 and 8. One covers noise, which basically it says the making, causing, or permitting to be made of unnecessary noise by any person operating or parking a vehicle on any street within the town that disturbs or that may tend to disturb the peace and quiet of the citizens of the town is hereby declared a nuisance. I'd like to adopt that nuisance. The other one, more specifically to mufflers, is muffler required. It should be unlawful for any reason to operate within the town any gas, gasoline, fuel, oil, internal combustion engine, stationary, moving, which shall unnecessarily create or cause to be created any noise which shall disturb the quiet, repose, or shall annoy any person or persons within the town. All vehicles must be equipped with a muffler or a dissipator device that is in good working order, is in constant operation to prevent unnecessary noise. I'd like to get that one as well. Because currently, I mean, our hands are kind of tied with state statute, so we don't really have an ordinance against it. This way we can move forward and rectify some of those situations as well. You guys did already talk about the golf cart ordinance, so I don't need to bring that one up. Also have a invoice, and we're talking about security cameras that for installation. I'll present that as well for approval. And then, like I said, I just, you know, I'd like to do reviews so we can, a lot of it's just a lot of properties and a lot of, the ordinance for now will give us, it's a much clearer ordinance and will give us the ability to go in there and do what we need to do without having to play verbal volleyball on, well, it doesn't exactly say this or it doesn't exactly say that. This is cut and dry, here it is, like it or leave it.
From a legal direction, does it take the steps that we're currently attempting to go through as far as issuing a citation, going back and issuing a second notice, and is there an end game? I mean,
yes.
Does this ordinance amendment that you're talking about, does it provide us an end game where we can actually do something?
Well, in this ordinance, it's as far as the end game, they have their way of doing business, which is actually quite similar to ours. The only thing I think we need to do is there has to be an appeal process in which it can still be you three, just establish an enforcement board, which can meet an hour prior to an open meeting every month. So people have, once they issue a citation, just like a normal statute ticket, they have 30 days in which they could present and appeal their case. Which time the enforcement board, which could be you, can say yes or no, pay it, or this is what's going to happen. Either way, it's the same procedure, but what this ordinance is mainly doing is giving us the authority and the cut and dry black and white version of this looks like garbage, fix it. Instead of just a debate of, well, I don't consider it this and they don't consider it this and that kind of thing. It's always a game of semantics, really. And this is just much more clear cut and dry. And I think once reviewed, I mean, if you were to bounce it off our current ordinance, I mean, it's just so much better.
Well, it sounds wonderful, but to me, unless we do the other first, which is have the committee or the board established and establish the structure to support the said change to ordinance, it's an exercise in futility. So we got to do both.
Correct. And I probably should have mentioned that. Again, you're right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely correct.
And that would, and I'm sure what we'll have to do is we'll have to talk to our attorney to find out if there's any legals that are going on, because if we do set up the committee, like what you're talking about, and we review the fines and so on and so forth, any funds generated from that come straight to the town. It doesn't go to the county.
That is correct. And currently, on Odon ordinance, we have ordinance declaring an enforcement board. We currently have that. But I just don't recall it ever being done.
Nobody's ever appealed. Nobody's ever come in and appealed it, so therefore you never had to.
But I think, if this way, if we said, like you're saying, if we said, okay, well, any appeals on, an ordinance violation issued will be met an hour prior to the monthly meeting, they can appeal their case, in which case, Marshall or myself.
Well, I clearly think it's time the police department and enforcement is on the same page with the town.
Correct.
And if we're not, then we're just not getting the job done. And find something that you can enforce, other cities enforce it, it's been proven that it can be enforced.
Absolutely.
So we
And we
started,
go with it.
we started in April, passing out cleanup notices and tickets.
Yeah, I know, I'm not saying nothing been done, but
No.
we just need something clear
Yeah.
than what we
Well,
have.
The one thing we run into, we have to use the town guys to go in and mow or clean it up. Is there some way we could have a contractor go in and do that for us, rather than rely on Doug now? Because that way, if you got a guy out here that's got a pickup or something, he's a contractor, he's under contract with us, at the end of that 10-day notice, he should be able to go and clean it up. Where like Doug and them, they have other duties besides that.
We're just trying to get it done.
As long, and this subject's been touched on before, I haven't got any problem with that, but we have to get a licensed and bonded
Correct.
contractor to do this. We can't just hire somebody off the street to go and
More
work
likely
our
to
job.
pay them up front, they're not gonna wait
Correct.
forever to get paid.
That's
Right.
That's true too, so.
Well, there's a way to handle it. I'm convinced of that, other places do, and we get bogged down in reasons why we can't, and that's irritating to me and to people who want to see progress in this town.
I agree.
So, okay.
John, I think you guys are aware that economic development, if it's a home or a structure, they will tear it down
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
and then put it on the tax bill.
Apparently, a lot of people don't want to do that.
No, but I mean, like that house across from you, they're paying taxes on that thing. Looks like they want it tore down.
Anyway.
I'm glad you said that, Dave, because I think that's the same thing. They put it on their taxes. There's no problem about it. But I've had fence built and just had it on Dave's County, had it
Well,
on.
we know that, we're talking about if we had somebody go in there and do it, how they gonna get the money up front? The contractor ain't gonna wanna wait till, who knows when it's gonna
Oh,
be.
you got a point there. You got a point there.
And then also, what Scotty's saying, back to his original thing, you said the key word, attorney. We're gonna have to be getting us an attorney. We don't have one.
Has as we receive